I'm Matthew. I'm walking the spine of Albion, stirring cultural renaissance and calling forward the emerging leaders of this age.
The tables have started to turn. Started by revolution. Oh, no.
It's so good. Yeah, thank you, Russia. Oh my lord, look at this. That's not just like a chicken. That's like it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Land on the Pennine Way, and within an hour there's little drops of hail. That's a nice little sleeping area just there, a little flat bit under that overhang. I bet many have spent a night there over the years. What do we have over this hill? What can I expect? Not much. I wonder if it's going to snow tonight. At the moment, these kind of small hailstones like that are kind of coming in every half an hour or so. I wonder if it's a precursor for snow. I think I'm going to be alright. I don't know, we'll see. It's definitely cold in the clouds. Yeah. Feel like the adventure's just kind of turned up a notch. Okay, I'm going to drop in this ritual now. I suppose this is my last check-in before I kind of begin to properly enter into my own space for at least a few days, maybe a week, and ultimately 2 weeks of quiet spaciousness for myself and my grandpa. So, yeah, I wonder what lies ahead.
seeking the wisdom of every lineage but your own. There is wisdom in your blood. There is wisdom in your bones. There is magic in your family line, which was born at the beginning of it all. All it takes is listening deeply beyond a thin veil of time, allowing your ancestors to initiate you, and learning to let your bones speak to your heart.
Burns from the fire last night. I was obviously sitting a bit too close. It was hurting, it was burning, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Drink the wild water. Let it taste of earth and wood and stone. Let it run down your chin until you're giggling or spluttering, or you finally remember in your body that you're made of soil and old stories and hope. The wild rivers, they want to find you. They want to fill you with an old kind of love that cities and cement and chandeliers forgot long ago. Let the remnants of a wild world drip from your lips. Let it choke you a moment, take your breath away, and then finally, on the riverbank, bring you back to life. Sweet and full-bodied and whole. Taste, if you can, the untamed ecstasy born into being over billions of years. Gasp for air and growl at a passing car. Hiss at a bridge and howl at a moon you can't see through the clouds. With your shirt drenched in the memories of what a human used to be, stalk up the bank like an old tiger and watch as doors are slammed shut, windows locked, children's eyes covered, and some old witch in a rocking chair holding an empty glass made from lightning and sand grins cheekily and squawks, "About time."
Morning, it is dawn-ish on day 45. Day 45, that was the original halfway point, but less than halfway because of my 15 days in Manchester doing all those events and hanging out with Uncle Benjamin. That was where I camped last night. Little embankment with a kind of a cool natural stone wall behind it, kind of a gentle ridge line behind it. Today I'm headed north towards, you know what? I don't even know what I'm headed towards. Sometime in the next 3 days, I will be halfway. That looks like the top of a pub to me. There's been much going on out here for a while. So yeah, hopefully that's Tan Inn pub and we can have a half pint on the way through. Oh yeah. I'm making a little docuseries as I walk the length of Britain. Almost halfway.
I took these 10 days to drop in properly with my grandfather, who passed in December last year, just a few short months ago. I really loved my grandfather. I still do. He was kind of the main male role model in my early life. My father wasn't around in my childhood, and he was this figure of strength and love and stability that was just a really important base for me actually to build on and grow from. He was also a little bit of a hero to me, to be honest. I remember a story my grandmother would tell of when my grandfather saved a dozen or more people in a really major rip at the beach in Australia one sunny Australian afternoon. All these people got ripped out to sea, and they just kept going and going further and further. They were really far out, and my grandfather hopped on his surfboard and kind of got to work, and one by one he started to bring them back in. He had put them on his surfboard, and then he'd paddle them back in, drop them off and go back for the next one. He did this over and over again till his arms were heavy and he was tired, exhausted, and almost couldn't keep going, but just was able to somehow. And there was 2 people left right at the end of it all. He'd saved everyone else and he went out for them. He couldn't quite get them both on the board, so he just put the man on the board and swam the man into the beach, offloaded him, and just absolutely wrecked. He turned the board around one more time and headed out for the woman, the wife, and this married couple. And as he got within 15 feet, a wave kind of came up between them, and he saw her just floating there, kind of about to go under. And as the wave came past and then went beyond him, she was gone, and she drowned and was never seen ever again. And I think that weighed on my grandfather in some way for the rest of his life. But to me, he was just a hero, and that story is really precious to me.
Follow your songline, your path calls to you. Your song's always sounding, but you have to sing too. This one should do. No way. It's really beautiful. So I walk a long way today, 22 miles. Maybe just over, and I'm in Alston. I got to Alston. I walked the last few miles in the dark, and I arrive into town, find my way to one pub, and it was just closing, so I went to the other one, just to have sit down in the warmth, get a little drink, and just kind of sit and breathe and plan where I'm going to stay tonight. And as I walk in, I see this kind of gentleman, maybe in his 60s, with a big white beard and Like a bald head, just like my granddad. Wisps on the side with a kind of just a kind of glowing woman with like a gentle, very gentle kind of hippie conscious grandmother attire, but just like a real life in her, like a real wise one energy. And I could feel the man, and I just got led to go up to him as I walked in, and I shook his hand and I said, I just like to shake the hand of every wizard I meet. You know, big white beard and white hair, bald hair, but like some life in his eyes, and almost like a Santa Claus energy. But with a bit of a real kind of masculine presence and seriousness in him. And just shook his hand, and it was really lovely, and so was the woman he was with that shook her hand as well. And just this thing that began as a cheeky little hello was kind of like just passed by, and I sat and I had my meal, and then he came up to me as he was leaving, and he said, have you got somewhere to stay yet tonight? Somewhere, do you know where you're going to camp? And I said, I haven't worked it out yet. I'm probably going to wild camp somewhere, around within a couple of miles. And he said, I'm going to get you a night here. I'd barely spoken to the man, and he said, I'm going to shout you a night here. And he shouted me, he got me a night in this pub. I'm in the room right now. I've literally just come up the stairs. He paid for a night in this pub, and he got me breakfast in the morning as well. Yeah, it's just really beautiful and magical, and I'm really grateful. Don't really know what else there's not much else to say really. Gave him a hug, gave him a cuddle. Told him about my grandfather. And then he just walked out the door and into the night. And now here I am, not looking for a wild camp spot for tonight, but I have like a bath. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That means a hot shower. This is my last night on this side of the halfway point. From tomorrow, I'm gonna be north of the halfway point. Every step from tomorrow is going to be from the end of tomorrow, not the start of tomorrow, but from the end of tomorrow. Every step is going to be beyond equal to what I've just done. Like I have to do less steps from the end of tomorrow than I've done. Oh my God. There's a bath. I'm gonna have a bath. I'm gonna have a bath. I'm gonna have a bath. Just out of the bath, and I remembered in the bath that he said to me, Merry Christmas. And he looked kind of like Santa. And he totally wizarded me a room. No. No! Oh, God. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no. 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 Oh, fuck. Shit. Fuck. Oh. God. Oh my God. Shit. Oh no. Okay. One step at a time. I'm gonna put you down. Well, I have hurt my knee, and I think it might be not good, potentially bad. I'm literally 2 miles away from the sycamore at the gap, the felled sycamore at the gap right now. Sleeping on this beautiful crest that looks, you would have seen the sunset. Sleeping on Hadrian's wall. I'm right beside it right now. It's the halfway point. So I made it to halfway and now I've hurt my knee. I did it in the mud. Just on the way up here, trying to find somewhere to wild camp. It's bad, like when I put pressure on it, it really hurts. And it's, yeah. I was thinking maybe it's like when I was pulling my leg, like, you know, you saw how hard it was to get my leg out of the mud. I had to pull with like a lot of force. Maybe I like ripped something then. Anyway, I didn't notice it at first, but something happened while I was putting my tent up. And yeah, it's bad. I think it's bad. But I'm just gonna keep warm and try and have a good sleep. It's not like hurting in stillness. It feels like almost like the way like a sprained ankle would, you know, when you're not putting weight on it, it's kind of fine. But when I put weight on it, it's proper bad. So I'm gonna have a rest tonight. Just keep warm, and then in the morning, see if I can walk on it in some way. If I can continue, then I think it's going to change the course of what lies ahead, because I don't think I'll be able to do ups or downs very much. So I'll have to be sticking to like valleys and kind of like flatter surfaces. And I don't know what that means for the journey through Scotland. You know, I was headed towards the Highlands, so I don't know. I suppose every mountain has a valley. I don't want this to be the place where it ends. I would be a bit heartbroken if I had to like let go of this now after all of that. Not because I need to get to the end for any kind of like chasing something purposes, but because it just felt important. It just felt really important to do this thing. Like not just for myself, but like
I feel like my community in one sense has needed this as well. And for myself. This is the first moment where I am actually thinking that I might not be able to do this thing.